Hello everyone, and welcome to a live stream again for the first time in 1.5 weeks. It's because, hang on, where's the sound of Roller Coaster Tycoon? There, much better. Now that has sound as well. I was away for a bit, I was not at home. I was at my brother's place watching his two kitties. Because he and his girlfriend were on vacation for a week. And they have two young kitties. So I watched them. How were the kitties? They were wonderful. They were absolutely wonderful. It's quite a bit more work to take care of them than to take care of my parents' cat, which I also watched over the summer for 2 weeks. He's a bit older, he's a lot simpler. But yeah, they were nice. I mean, who doesn't like cats? Oh, except if you're allergic to them, I suppose. By the way, thank you very much for the 3 months, Kangi, which you did during the intro. And I could have spoken during the intro, but you know, I usually never do that, so here you go. I'm excited for this live stream. We're playing a map that Max has made. And he's been to Iceland this summer, and I have been to Iceland 2 summers ago. And we both really liked it, and he made a map that is, well, based on Iceland. And it's going to be interesting. Good to see some RCT to help me recover from having broken both my feet. That sucks. I hope you recover quickly. Also, how did you manage that? That's quite an achievement. Even if I were allergic, I would still go out of my way to pet every cat. I probably would as well. Well, depending on how severe the allergies would be. I mean, if it would literally swell up every time I came near a cat, then probably not. Thank you very much for the 11 months, Duvel. I appreciate that very much. Also, did you all like... well, I know a lot of you did, because the videos are doing quite well, but... Did you all like the recent videos? The one about the cheapest ride is doing amazingly well, I must say. It's really crazy. It's already at like 45,000 views within just a few days. It did release at a different time than usual. Maybe that has an impact, but I'm not sure. I dislocated my shoulder and then fell off a moving bicycle. I have no idea how I didn't hurt anything else. That's interesting. I fell off bicycles as well, but once I had a hole in my knee. But I've never broken anything. I've never broken anything in my life. I wonder, is that odd? I'm 24 years old, and the worst I've done in terms of broken and bruises and stuff is I had to have my arm in a sling for like 2 days. But it wasn't broken. And I technically didn't had to have it in a sling. It was just, if I didn't have my arm bent at like a 90-degree angle, it would hurt. And since it takes quite a lot of energy to keep your arm bent like that for an entire day, a sling was easier. That was in the 4th year of high school. So I was like 15, 16. I think, no, 15. It's a statistic anomaly. I'm not so sure. It probably is, but I don't think it's that weird. I think most people, at least like 30% or so, people my age would never have broken anything. But, you know, from this chat, I'm not, even if we ran a poll and everyone answered, I'm not sure if we get accurate results. Also, thank you for the follow, by the way, Inktober. Oh yeah, I see. Quite a lot of people who've never broken anything. Marcel, I recently found your YouTube channel. I really like your videos. Thank you, Pointer. Alright, let's start. I have looked at the scenario and the goal. The goal's already in the top left. But not anything else. Don't know what the rides are available. I have a lot of scenarios. It should be under the eye. Yes, Icelandic volcano. The local authority of Iceland have asked you to build a theme park around the world's newest volcano, Fagradalsfjall. It is still erupting, so be careful. You may not alter the landscape or ruin the view with tall rides. Ah, I can't build tall rides. Oh, hang on, I can. Oh no, wait, I can't, because I can't alter the landscape, so I can't use that little trick. To have goal to have 5,000 guests in your park, and I cannot let the rating drop below 700 anytime. I mean, the rating thing is not really a problem. It's never a problem unless you specifically make the guests come into the park very angry or something. Alright, let's quickly start, because we do only have 2 months to get our rating up. So let's start with that. Just to get a few guests in the park and get some music going on. Oh, we have some custom rides. Let's build a super looper. A super duper super looper. Dude, I can't build it. It's too tall. That's... Okay, you know what? I'm gonna turn that off. Because that's annoying. Would you guys like me to turn it off, or would you guys like me to keep it on? Can you build it underground? I think I can, but... Yeah, but then you don't see it. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn it off. Let's see, scenario options. I'll keep the no landscape changes, but turning this off is a good idea. There we go, that's a super looper. Super duper super ooper looper. There we go. And now let's advertise. We started with a lot of money. Oh, hang on. Oh, you sneaky bastard, Max. With the 50% interest per year. I've already lost 1.5k on that. We're not gonna do very much of that. And that was 1.5k in just a quarter of a month. So that's insanely expensive. Hang on, can I charge for both? Yeah, let's make this free then. Is this thing on? It's not. Now it is. Free entry to the park. Why can I still do that? My park entry is already free. That means it's less expensive. Yeah, imagine not reading the fine print. I was like, I did notice when I inspected the scenario for a little bit, right before the live stream. I did notice I had 100k. I didn't look at the finance or anything. So, I was actually, I wanted to see how much I could loan. And I thought I already had 100k. Then like 50% a year. Let's not do that. Is 100k the max? Let's quickly see. How far can we go? Oh yeah, that's the max. So, that's it. It is basically build your own Six Flags park, but with the loan already maxed out and much more interest. Alright, now that we have a little park going. Oh, hang on. Oh, this is actually a neat little challenge. You see all these paths? I'm not going to block them off or remove them. We already have guests here. Wait a minute. We have 2 entrances? Oh. I didn't know that. There's another one right here. That's interesting. I noticed I had guests here, and in my head was already... Oh, that's fast. They're walking the other way. Oh, there's a lot of guests here. Oh, there's another entrance. But yeah, I'm not going to block off these paths, which could make it difficult, since that can cause park rating issues. But that's part of the challenge, I suppose. That entrance is the one I took in real life. Oh, there are 2 entrances to like the volcano part bit in real life as well. I suppose you modeled this as close as you could. Okay, let's get a ride going here as well. You see, about that restriction that I lifted, that's the nice part about the live stream. It's not the live streams I do. It's not really about the specifics of the scenario. And if there's anything I can do to make the stream better, I can just use OpenRCT2 to do that. Which is also wonderful about OpenRCT2, of course. Alright, there's... with that music, it has now turned into a video. Hello everyone, today we're going to play a scenario built by Max Arceus, and it's about Iceland, and we're gonna learn about Iceland while doing it. As you can see, I've already built a twist, and it's not all that popular quite yet. There's one guest. It will become more popular in the future. But before we talk about the future of the twist, we'll talk about some different rides. That was a lot of nonsense and completely improvised. Where's all the ice? There's not a lot of ice in Iceland during the summer, actually. There is some on like the higher mountains on the peaks, and of course glaciers. There's one absolutely massive one where there's of course ice year round, but just, you know, in regular towns, regular like close to sea level parts of Iceland, there's not any snow during the summer. Oh, the water has a different color, of course. Because I noticed that this picture of the motion simulator is different than usual. Because normally that orange is actually watercolor, that one orange line. And even though I didn't immediately notice what was wrong, I did notice that it was wrong. Notice construction rights. I was already thinking about it. Can I build... Oh, hang on. I need to increase my park rating. Rain. Don't like that. I need a coaster. Let's see. Coaster, coaster, coaster. Alright, for a quick one, I'm just gonna build this one. Just need a quick coaster. I have until the 1st of May to fix my park rating. Make it above 700. Oh, you redeemed geography question. My apologies. Let's see, what was it? Oh, there is the thing, there's your question. Can you name more than 2 cities in British Columbia, Canada? There's Vancouver, there's Richmond. I think there's Victoria, which I think is the capital. Then there's Prince George, which is quite northern. I think that's all I know. Okay, let's hire some staff. I don't quite need it yet. Although I could use some entertainers. Let's quickly hire a bunch of entertainers. See if they can help with the guest happiness a bit. Are the guests happy on average? Quite a few. Well, all the ones with leaving the park seem to be not very happy. Hey, Neri, what's up? How you doing, mate? Good to see you here. You're impressed. Yeah, well, Victoria I know because it's the capital. Vancouver I know because it's big. I know Richmond because the Olympic Games, or well, the speed skating of the Olympic Games was there in 2010. And I know Prince George because I once spawned there when playing GeoGuessr, on stream actually. Not much. Well, you know, sometimes when not much is going on, that's just right. There's a Ferris wheel. How are you? I am actually pretty great. Is Sly not here today? I don't think he is here at the moment. He might come later. He might just, you know, have a life. Have other stuff to do. Alright, let's build a custom junior coaster. This is also watercolor, this orange. Because I am 100% positive that this is not one of the pre-built color schemes. One of the standard color schemes. So, I have been working on a video. Oh, how well do you think you would do if you had to point out all US states on a map? 100%. Well, I might get one or two mixed up, but close to 100%. I've been working on a video that calculates how many different possible landscapes there are in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. By which I only mean combination of land, terrain and water. So no trees, no rides. Using that becomes much too complicated. And even with that restriction, the number is mind-bogglingly big. Oh hey, I'm still on units instead of meters. Yes, that was for that video. Oops, that's not options. This is options. And let's see. Landscape smoothing. Oh, that I did turn that back on. Metric. No, that's right. Real values. There we go. Is it computable? It is computable. It's not like incomputably large. But it is about 10 to the power 365,000. And I'm pretty sure that that classifies as staggeringly high. And then an S-band. And we're back to the station, baby. Marcel, I was going to visit the Netherlands, but there's no ferries that go from Scotland anymore. Oh, that's unfortunate. My parents have actually taken the ferry from the Netherlands, not quite to Scotland, I think they went to Hull. Then they drove up to Scotland in their camper van. And that. Let's test it. Speed that up. And it should be salmon pink according to Neri. I didn't acknowledge it, but I did see it earlier. This is force line. A bit more Kangi. 10 to the power 365,000. You know, it's interesting. Once you're in numbers that big, you're at 350,000 and you go 365,000, which is, oh, you know, those 15,000 extra zeros don't seem like much. But keep in mind that every zero makes the number 10 times as big. Every 6 zeros make the number 1,000,000 times as big. Every 100 zeros make the number a Google times as big. So, 365,000 is a Google, is 150 times a Google times as big as 350,000 zeros. It's mind-boggling. Can we also name it Slime McAwesome the Ride? Sure. There we go. Alright, let's do some of these fellas. Hang on, do we have ATMs? Good. If we didn't have ATMs, I would have cheated them in. I don't like playing this game without ATMs. Unless it's specifically part of a tricky scenario, of course. But when playing scenarios like this, I want ATMs. It's as clear as that. Alright, let's advertise some more. Let's advertise the air-powered vertical coaster. And that one. This scenario from the Discord. Yes. What park is this? Iceland, made by Max. Looks like that. It's a volcano-y bitty thing. Oh yeah, I had to check my constructions rights. Yeah, I do have this. I thought I'd have this because of the paths. Let me actually connect them. Because that's probably a good idea. Will you still name some guests Marcel the Axt? I've done that a long time. I've stopped that a long time ago. Like, at least like 8 or 9 months ago. Because we just forgot, I suppose. And also it gets kind of old. And then, you know, and then every stream checking a couple of times if he's still in the park. It's, you know, it's fun, like maybe 10 times. But after that, it's just old news. Alright, that's now connected. Let's hope that this wooden path doesn't burn up. Really clever use of whatever custom scenery that is. Colorable brick path. And you made it into lava. Now that's cool. Well done. Inktober. Every day of October we make one ink drawing. You've probably never seen any of my drawings. But it's probably not a good idea for me to try that. Also, I would already be 10 days late. And I'm not particularly a fan of drawing. I mean, I like seeing drawings. I like seeing people draw sometimes. I like YouTube videos and stuff. But I'm not good at drawing myself. And I'm not particularly fond of drawing myself. That sounded like I wasn't fond of drawing self-portraits. Which I suppose I'm also not. But that wasn't what I was trying to say. Hang on. Why is that? That should not be that color. Hang on. Did I change that? It's the... Yeah, I'd like to have it transparent. Didn't I always have the Virgil of Lauren transparent? Did it get reset or something? Also, I'd like this one further away. Is there like a hole or something there? Okay, there we go. That wood is fireproof. There are some woods that are maybe not fireproof, but fire resistant. Probably. I mean, if you hold a match up to like a big log, it won't really catch fire. I made a drawing of a crow that I'm a bit proud of. It turned out better than I expected. You should draw a cow that lies in the gutter. It's like that Burning Man coaster made of concrete painted to look like wood. Alright, yeah, that people do that. Or plastic to look like wood. We're not making a lot from rides yet, are we? No. We do have almost 500 guests, and the park rating is fine. At the moment, it's just the money that's not so fine. Because even without constructing anything, we're quite heavily in the negative. Well, I suppose part of it is because I have a lot of entertainers. Let's fire all of those. I don't need that many mechanics. I think part of the problem is also that just a lot of guests are here. Not particularly in that bit, but just here in general. And there aren't any rides there, so they're just too spread out. But we are slowly getting there. I mean, any guest that does get on this ride pays 31 euros and 40 cents. Holy damn. That's amazing. And a lot. I didn't expect it. It's because I have only one of them. Since when can you charge more than 20? I can't. But this plugin can if you check allow unbound prices. Which is pretty great. Allows me to make so much money. Okay, if it doesn't rain, we should be at about 1,500 euros. No, 3,000 euros in a month from rides. And I will keep advertising. Just because we need more guests. Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit cheaty. Actually, I want kind of the corkscrew cheap path. I have so many different of the same corkscrew designs. I'm just gonna build a few of those. To get the park going. So that we can then build more interesting rides quicker. There we go. Let's see, how many different versions of that do I have? There's one. There's another one. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one's flashy because it's orange. I think it's 6. It's not as many as I thought, but still more than I need. Oh, technically 7, but this is an OR gate. Well, technically they're all OR gates, but this one is a nice design and it's blue. Do I have another one? No, that's all of them. 31 euros for a ride. There are whole parks that are less expensive. I know, right? No grid designs. No, I don't think I have any with like the path grid. You know, if you build 4 back to back, or more like back to back to back to back. Do you want to see that? Do you guys know what I mean? Would you like to see me build another 4 of those in one of those grids that I'm talking about? Can you imagine seeing that corkscrew and thinking, yes, this is what I came for? Well, I would like to ride it at least once. Seems interesting. I hope you don't plan on making a forest. I don't have any trees. I can make a forest out of geometric sculpture and then it's future. Then it's Iceland in the future. Because geometric stuff with glass is future, right? You do go upside down for 1 second. Well, not really if you're in the back seat. But if you're chilling in the front seat, then I suppose, yes. There are a few trees in Iceland. There is a forest I've been to, actually. Okay, I think we're doing... Okay, we're looking to make about 5,000, 6,000 this month. Assuming the rain stays away. An umbrella a day keeps the rain away. Which is enough to break even. We've even constructed a bit already. Guests are getting lost or stuck. What a surprise! I mean, it might be that path. You know what? It's quite expensive to build here, actually, because it's fairly high off the ground, but... Oh. Can I just not continue that path? I can't even continue that path because the ground is in the way. I'm just gonna have to raise it up earlier. I'm not gonna entirely remove it because I said I was gonna keep all the paths, but... And I could, you know, build it around, but... That's a bit annoying. So I think if I build it here, I'm fine. Nope, I'm not. Now I'm fine. Ah yes, that path is destroyed in real life. But in real life, people don't get lost if they walk on that path. Oh, he's still not on the path. Now he is. This is very expensive. I don't even have enough money to finish this path. And I also need to go up earlier. See, I'm out of money. Drown a guest of your choice. Alright, go ahead. Oh, the blue shirt guy. Where's he gone? I don't... Hang on. He must be walking here. Oh, I think it might be that one. I think it might be that guy. Oh, he's at the slope again. One of those. How can he be at the... Oh, did he walk that way? Max, we already have water. Oh, this is not water. Whoops. I thought that was water. Oh, yeah. Right. Whoops. I can't add any water. Well, let's make an exception of that. Oh, you can't make water that high up. Oh, that makes sense. We're gonna make a little exception for that. So, scenario options. Oh, umbrella time. We're gonna change that. And then we're gonna do that. That. And that. And then we're gonna change it back. Because I want to drown guests. There we go. I'm going to drown them both because I don't know which one I needed to drown. So now they're both dead. Oh, this still isn't high enough. You know what? I'll just go that way. There we go. Now that works. Didn't drown, they melted. Should drown them in the volcano, yeah, but there's no water here. This is just scenery because you can't build water this high up. Alright, the path now at least loops. There are no more dead ends. And that path cost me about 6,000. Because it's ridiculously high up. It costs you like... Because the path supports are the most expensive supports in the game. This costs you like 70 or 80 a piece. Well, like 20, 30 pieces, and you're easily on a few thousand. And Marcel, I had a question for a while. I've played RCT 2 and 3. In your expert opinion, why does 3 seem more boring than 2 when a lot of gameplay seems the same? I think... Well, 3 seems to be a lot more sandboxy. 2 seems, to me at least, a lot more about the numbers. The numbers are a lot easier. Because I never really got into the numbers in 3. And also, it just looks more charming. It really just looks more charming. I've said this before, but if you just add a few trees around this... I don't have trees available in this scenario, but... if you do just add a few trees, it just looks pleasing. Also, the colors are awful in RCT3. They're so muted. And here they're bright and happy. It's just a world of difference. Hey Marcel, I played RCT2 yesterday. Also, it's Thanksgiving in Canada today, eh? So happy Thanksgiving from Canada. Oh, it is. Well, happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian viewers. Including... I highlight what I'm eating. I assume you're Canadian, maybe even British Columbian, since, well, you asked that question. Which was a fun question, by the way. Do we have water rights? Oh, we do, actually. We have a Zingy slide. Let's build one. Yeah. This is a bit random, but I really wish Tractor Ice just had various tunnel pieces rather than having to raise and lower the land. Well, you can just build a scenery building around it, I suppose. Make the air-powered coaster blend with the ground. I mean, this thing is massive. It's not really gonna blend with the ground all that well, is it? That's the best I can do. I suppose it's slightly more camouflaged. These hills are annoying to build up on. Because they go up steeper than a gentle hill. You see, I start with like 10 meters of clearance, or 12 or whatever that is. I end up with only a few. Alright, let's go fast. Oh, I can't even do that. Alright. You can see, now I also can't do a fully gentle hill. The dinghy slides the only water out without water. I didn't want the guests swimming in lava. What are you? Some kind of guest-loving weirdo? Of course you want the guests to swim in lava and, well, preferably die. But, you know, that kind of hurts your park rating, so maybe that's not the best idea always. Oh, sorry, I missed earlier. I saw your comment earlier as well, Skyler, but I missed that you had redeemed the Color Ride of Your Choice award. I really need to... I forgot that last time. I really need to see if I can make those things make a sound. So that I can be reminded when one comes on. Because I do read the chat, but, you know, sometimes I miss a page of chat because there are only like 7 or 8 comments on a page. Ferris wheel 1 is broken down. Well, luckily I have mechanics. Unless one of you decides to fire all my staff. Can you put a pool of lava at the bottom of the steep drop? Nope, I can't alter the landscape. I mean, I suppose I could simulate it with scenery. If I have scenery that only has 1 unit of clearance, but otherwise, not really. I'm just gonna be safe here and put tunnel pieces on all these crashable areas, because I'm not sure otherwise if it's safe. Because the longer one of these dinghy slides, the greater the difference is between an empty train that's going on the track now and a full, well, not really a train, but a full boat. So especially near the end, the difference can be massive. It can only just about make it being empty while it crashes if it's full. And I don't want to risk that. Name a ride of your choice by Phoenix. Oh, and phone number, fired all my staff. Well, there they go. Bye-bye. And music. Name the dinghy slide the Slipinator. Alright. Slipinator. Alright, that's opened up now as well. Maybe I should start working on paying back a bit of the loan. Because that does cost a lot of money. It's a good thing that we are making quite a lot now on the rides. Almost 10,000 this month. Park is coming along quite nicely, I must say. Can I... hang on, if I just copy the colors from that one. There you go. This is... Oh, this float a bit. Maybe that's not ideal. This one floats as well. It doesn't... Really? I mean, I can do this. Like, hey, it's lava. What was the last scenario you failed? Probably Wasteland of Dying Dreams. I think I failed the first time because I didn't get my park rating up in time. That's also the most difficult bit of that scenario. Alright, let's make this a bit more interesting in terms of colors. Ooh, now that's bright. It's not quite as bright as the acid green, but that's still bright, yo. Yo, that's bright. I'm Mr. Bright, and this is my song. And that was total nonsense. Add a lava tornado over the sacrificial pit. That's gonna hurt. What if you make the white black? Oh, that does look cool. Now, to be honest, black looks good with pretty much every bright color. Black, at least in this game, the black looks a lot better than the white in general. Is guest 27 still in the park? Yes, they are, actually. They are queuing for Super Looper 1. Super Loopa. Super Dupa Oopa Loopa. I don't know why I say it like that, but I just like saying that. It's your lucky number and you want to drown him? That's just... I mean, that's just bad luck for yourself, mate. Oh, I can't place them there because the water spout's in the way. Well, rip the water spout then. Oh, how do I... Hang on. There we go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guess 27. I guess they melted. Raise the water spout tile. Will that work? That's not exactly a tile, but this is, I think... Yeah, now it is raised a quarter of a tile. Can I drown them now? Yes, I can. Imagine that. Imagine, just because I need to test something, being thrown in the water and then just picked up again out of it and, you know, not being harmed at all. Being traumatized, I suppose, but not physically harmed. Who was that lucky guest? I don't know. They've already moved on. You literally dipped him in lava. He's fine. Guests are heat resistant. They just can't swim. And they don't have gills, so they can't live in the water. I should advertise some more. By the way, we're probably not going to complete this scenario today. Because 5,000 is quite a lot of guests. Also, I think I might need some drink stalls. I don't think I have any of those yet. Ask a geography question. Go ahead. Also. Oh, everything's already been funded. Well, then no research. What do you think of the country Chad? Okay, I'll be honest. I don't really have an opinion. Thank you for the follow. Citra24. I don't know a lot about Chad in the first place. I know it's in the Sahara Desert. Its capital is N'Djamena. Probably not the wrong pronunciation. Its flag is almost identical to that of Romania. And that's about all that I know. There could be a lot more interesting facts about Chad. Also, I can hire staff again. But I don't know those. build a little food court here as well. I don't even know about any kind of civil unrest, if that is even in chat. I mean, it's an African country, like somewhat sub-Saharan, which usually have a bit of civil unrest, but I don't even know if that's the case in chat or how much, or that's how little I know about it. What do you know about the country Kyle? It's not as cool as the country Chad. And yes, I indeed need to place benches and bins. Well, I do know, of course, there's Lake Chad, which I think has shrunk a lot lately. Dried up. I think you can hire your staff again. I already did. But thanks anyway. What do you know about the medical? That sounds like a like a Netflix show or something. Like The Crown, the medical. Wait, the medical houses? I'm not sure what you're on about. Speaking of bins, I was going to remove all bins from the scenery, as I had to carry a banana peel for over an hour when I was there. As there are no bins, of course. But then again, there are no roller coasters there either. Yeah, good point. There wasn't a merry-go-round with such cheerful music there. Oh, first aid rooms. What do I know about them? Well, they make guests less sick. Which means less pukies. Which means cleaner paths, less vandals, all that kind of jazz. When do they go to it? Well, presumably when they're sick. Any more specifics? I don't really know. Make them pay for bathroom use. I'm too lazy to do that, and it doesn't really make you any significant money anyway. Hey, a lag spike. Are Holy damn. Are we back? So, some of you may remember that this has happened before. A while ago, actually. I think like 2 months ago. This happened like twice. And I thought it had solved itself. Well, I had reinstalled OBS, and after that it hadn't happened again. But now it happened again. And I looked in the task manager, and I presume it's the same issue. It's just some kind of process taking up all the computing power, and then, well, the computer can't keep up. The sound was still going on the entire time, but the computer just can't keep up because there's no CPU power left. Streamlabs OBS or OBS Studio. It's a process called OBS 64. I use Streamlabs, but it's not the Streamlabs process itself that is using up all the resources, all the CPU power. Because the OBS 64 doesn't even have the Streamlabs icon. It has like the standard Windows icon. Same icon as all the system processes and stuff. Download more RAM. This is not on memory. This is on CPU power. So even if download more RAM was actually possible, it wouldn't even help. Because that's not how this works. Download more CPU power. If only I could. At least my computer didn't crash this time. Like, the first time this happened, it blue screened. And that was actually not during a stream. That was when I was recording. And yeah, when I googled for it, I couldn't really find all that much about it, to be honest, other than, you know, reinstall OBS. Hey, thank you for the 9 months, Crazy Baboon. I appreciate it. The famous blue screen of death is actually a bug check. Oh. I mean, it says blue screen of death, but it didn't hurt me all that much. I didn't lose any work. Probably because all my work is pretty much automatically saved. Because I work on Google Drive, and my video editing program also keeps saves like every minute for an automatic backup or whatever. Alright, that's all the benches. Pick a coaster type to build. Alrighty, go ahead. That's stalls. That's coaster types. Go ahead. Pick one. I found a nice Russian website where you can download more CPU. It's free, but they do ask for your credit card info. Link me up. Seems interesting. Wooden coaster. Name it Hot Chocolate. Alright. When I was at my brother's place a few days ago, I got an interesting email. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't a scam. It seemed legit. But also not. And I'll tell you why. The email was clearly sent to a lot of people because I was on a BCC. Which means that it was sent to me as well as to others, but I can't see who the others are. So it was clearly an email sent out en masse just to a lot of people. And the second reason that it's not really a scam, but still not for me, is because they clearly didn't watch my channel. Even though they say they did. So the email started with, you know, I've been watching your channel. I'm really liking the output of videos. Very general stuff, nothing specific about the contents. And then there's just such a specific first drop. I mean, that's at least different and interesting. And then the video went on about how they would like to be my editor. And I'm like, have you seen my videos? Do you know anything about how I work? Only I, and maybe someone like Dirklink, has the ability to edit my videos. Why? Because most of the time isn't spent in the editing program. most of the time is spent setting up, during the editing phase, most of the time is spent setting up all the specific scenarios that I want to show in the video. And you need to not only have the game for that, and be able to record the game for that, you also need to be good at the game. You need to have a working knowledge of what you can do and what you can build, and also know how to build all that. And because the email also mentioned stuff like, you know, just keep the camera rolling, send all your stuff to us, and we'll edit it for you. That's not how I work. Yes, that's how it would work if I, for example, did more of those livestream highlights. Sure, they could edit those. Fine. Well, I wouldn't let them. I wouldn't pay them for it, but, you know, they could. That, for my main videos, that's not how any of this works. And I would have replied if the email was only sent to me. But since it was clearly sent to a lot of people, I didn't even bother replying. They didn't bother taking any interest in my channel. So why would I, you know, spend any effort on them? This is a very particular wooden coaster, but I like it. It keeps quite a high speed during the rest of the ride, which is good. And I have no doubt that they are actually good editors. That it's not I don't think it's a scam at all. I just think they want jobs and money desperately and don't really want to put in the effort. And just email that to like 20 different people or whatever. And hope that one of them replies. Congrats, you've officially made it as a YouTuber. Well, I think I would have officially made it when I got my first true sponsorship email. Which obviously I didn't obviously I didn't actually take the sponsorship. Name the park. Go ahead. I've talked about the sponsorship before, but do any of you remember what it was? Let me guess, it was from Raid. Yep. The funny thing is, now we're still talking about it anyway, which is still free advertisement for them. So to counteract that, I will say, do not download Raid Shadow Legends. It's a shitty mobile freemium game. I repeat, do not download it. Either Puffin Park or Iceland. I like Puffin Park because puffins are cute. How would that sponsorship even go? Do you like roller coasters? Well, you like this random mobile game that doesn't have roller coasters. I mean, people of all walks of life on YouTube have promoted Raid Shadow Legends. I could figure something out. I don't think I would struggle to actually make an integration. It wouldn't really feel natural, especially since I don't actually play it. Or really play those kind of games. But I would be able to do it. I don't have any doubts on my abilities from that. I don't think you get to make your own sponsorship script if you're not big enough. Well, I suppose they would send me like a script of things I need to say, but you know, I still get to write my own segue into it, I suppose, because I write my own scripts. So it would probably be like, you know, I can't always play Roller Coaster Tycoon. And sometimes when I'm on the go, on my phone, I like to play Raid, I would say. I don't. Terrible game. And then I would, you know, take over their script about how awesome the game supposedly is. Put like a Morse code on the bottom left corner that says I'm lying. Wow. That would be amazing. I've actually gotten emails from them 3 times. I didn't even bother replying the second and the third time. I didn't reply the first time because, you know, it's nice. I've heard they're very critical of the script. You can't take their money and do anything but give them a glowing review. Well, yeah, of course, that makes sense. And, you know, there are companies that I would like to give a glowing review. And of course, if you know, if a company sponsors me and, you know, I use them and there's some minor annoyance, I would not mention that during a sponsorship. You know, they give me money, I'm gonna give them something good if I like them. Yeah, if it's a big annoyance, then it's something different. You make the video, say good stuff about it, get paid, delete video, re-upload without sponsorship. I'm pretty sure that they make you sign a contract. And that you might actually get in legal trouble regarding the contract. If you do stuff like that. Because they're a big company that have done a lot of sponsorships like that. Name a ride of your choice. Go ahead, Sabrina Ribina. Ah, I can see the path from this angle. Alright, drown guest 123. That's staff. That's staff again. Come on, Marcel, get it together. 123 is no longer in the park. The closest is 121. Sabrina, has the airport roller coaster been named yet? I don't think so. Nope. You want to name it Yippee Doodah. I like that. There we go. Would you actually accept a sponsorship for any of the RCT mobile games? No. Of course. Well, I say no. My integrity has a price. It's probably higher than some other YouTubers. But, you know, if they go like, you know, we'll give you 10,000 for a glowing review of RCT Touch, I'd be all over that, baby. But that's not gonna happen. Of course it's not going to happen. Can I sponsor you? I can give you a burger. Well, Skylo is awesome. Where's my burger? Now I want it as well. Guests are getting lost or stuck. Well, the paths are loops, but you know, my park rating is still almost 999, so it's not really a problem. And we're making good money. We got the money situation sorted. We have the park rating situation sorted. Now we can just build a cool park while getting more guests slowly and slowly beat the scenario. Think that's all. Yeah, I've done all the parts now. So that's out of the way. You offer $200 to sponsor me, Neri. What do you want in return? I'm genuinely curious if there is something of you that I could possibly sponsor. I mean, it is possible, you know, individuals pay me money to say something during my videos. I'm not sure if I would like that. Sets a bit of a weird precedent. But if you offer enough money and we sign some kind of contract so that I'm sure that I don't get pranked, then, you know, I'm not against that. It's just that why would anyone ever do that? Alright, Enterprise, right on the hill. Why not? You just have to say nothing on the night of February 13th, 2019. What? That's already been? Oh, you saw nothing. Well, I didn't see anything. You've already spoken negatively about Atari in your streams, and I don't know if they checked that, but if they did, I doubt they offered you a sponsorship. Well, you see, the thing about Atari is that if they actually, you know, they still own Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, I believe, the name. If they actually made a new game and it was good, then I would sponsor. I would not sponsor them. I would take a sponsorship and, you know, praise the game. Yes, currently Atari is shit, but it doesn't mean they're always shit. They can make a good game, go about it in a good way, and then it will be absolutely fine. Oh, did you drown guest 120? I didn't. I will now. There you go. Can you make a twin-engine airplane ride that goes around the volcano and then cheat the ride type to hide track? I can. I suppose this is your twin engine that you're talking about. The biplane. Is it? Because this is not really easy to build a coaster with. Do I, or do I also have the... No. Which one do you mean then? Transport? Oh. That's a proper ride. That's a proper twin engine. The only recent good thing Atari did was make the Soulja Boy think he bought the company when he invested in their crypto. Sounds like a lot of drama around that. Any chance you will give Park Attack a playthrough? There is a chance, but probably not in the near future. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna need support limits for this. Well, rather, no support limits. Probably best to start at the top of the hill or it'll be very long. Good point. Good point, good point. You know what, let's make this do some music. Yeah, that's my jam. You know what? Hang on. Can I make this more interesting? Okay, you know what? This is not gonna be a transport ride at all. This is gonna be a coaster. I'm gonna use a cheap one. Because then I can do chain lift. And I want chain lift. Also, I need vehicles from other types. Oh, and I need unlock operating limits as well. Because then I can do this. It'll accelerate on this. And then it'll go up. You see? Slime has broken down. He'll get fixed. Whee! Imagine us flying like that, sudden helix. Or that, just rolling, banking from left to right. Yeah, over lava, no less. Alright, and then brakes here. Actually, it'll be more realistic if we come from the back there and then just brake. Because I know how planes work. And then here we'll do the braking. I don't know how fast it'll still be going here, but hopefully pretty fast. $14.6. Alright. Now what are they called? Not the barnstorming trains. Dinghies, ghost trains. Well, twin engine airplane, of course. I'll look at it later. I'm first gonna just increase this a bit. Let's go as fast as we can. It won't speed up to the max speed anyway. How fast does it lose speed? Oh, crap. Now I have to rebuild the entire track, but with chain lift. That's annoying. That's very annoying. It just slows down so quickly. I guess you didn't think of that, Max. Now I need to make this a bit slower, the max. Let's keep that 101 kilometers per hour. And let's rebuild this in sections so that I don't forget how I built it. Yeah, I'm already forgetting how I built this. And there's a turn like somewhere here. Okay, that's good enough. There we go. Wait, this is not connected. Oh, this is went one tile too far. Well done, Marcel. Well done. It's still not connected. Still not connected. How difficult is this? Okay, there we go. Can you use the seaplane train? Yeah, but these trains are really cool. What about an alternating chain lift normal piece part? Yeah, but I can also just do the entire thing. It won't take that long. You see, the thing with these things, where you are like, oh, I need to replace the entire thing and stuff. It seems like a monumental task, but with a lot of these things, once you actually get to it, it's fairly quick. If you just put your mind to it. Alright, and then here's a double, well, I suppose 1.5 times around helix. There you go. So we're already nearing the end. Alright, and then until this turn we're just going back and forth on that. That's easy to remember. Yep. That's very Bob Ross of you. Oh yeah, there are no accidents. No, there are no mistakes. There are only happy accidents. Well, and brutal blunders. But we don't talk about those. Because those give me nightmares. And PTSD and whatever. But other than that, there are only happy accidents. Wouldn't you agree? Do you even need a brake run? No, not really. See, what did this take? Like, less than 10 minutes? We're almost done already. Besides, on stream it doesn't really matter what I do anyway. Since my job isn't to build an amazing park on one stream. My job is to be interesting while I play the game. And I hope I'm doing that job well. Since 154 people are watching, I suppose I'm doing it at least decently well. I love how bumpy this ride is. I hope it works. Well, it should work. I've done this before on different rides. You see, that's also the thing. You know, if we're going back about that email that I got, I say I've done this before because I have. Because of all my experience, there are so many things that at some point I have done in the game. Which means that I know how how I can do it again. Marcel, you sound like you need a hug. I am fine. Believe it or not. I have read stories of... Ooh, rip lateral G's, but luckily this ride doesn't count lateral G's. You know, I've read stories on Reddit of people, mostly men, almost men, because men don't hug each other as often as women do. So I've read stories of people not having had a proper hug in like years. Which is really sad. But I'm also lucky that I'm not part of that group. Despite COVID restrictions. Yeah, physical contact deprivation is a real thing. And I could probably use some more in my daily life. But it's not like I'm entirely deprived of it. Not at all. I'd sure like a hug. Oh yeah, I would too. Oh, we do actually get lateral G's. Oh, it's a coaster. It's not a transport ride. I thought it was a transport ride. Usually it would be. But actually the intensity rating is still less than 9. So it's fine. Now, I need some more cheats. Bam. Now I can turn all of these off. Now they're flying. I am 200% sure that a normal plane would tip over if it's stopping so fast. I'm also sure that a normal plane wouldn't be able to fly like this plane does. What if you make it a little slower? I could. Well, I need my cheats again for that. There we go. I of course also need unlock operating limits for that. How about 67? That looks a little cooler. Alright, let's make it invisible again. Imagine the view from up there. It would be a pretty nice view, but you don't have a lot of time to enjoy it because you're only over the lava for like, what, 20 seconds? Oh, we're becoming rich. Nice. Alright, I'm lazy, so let's advertise for 12 weeks now. Instead of the standard 2 weeks. Just going to run all of them. Why not? I have plenty of money anyway. Don't forget about that interest rate. It's actually fine now. It costs me about, well, less than 2,000 a month. We make a lot more than that. So that's mostly fine. In reality, they're checking it with a helicopter every day. So I added a mini helicopter ride too. Oh, that's nice. You actually put some effort into this. Instead of me, who would just select all roller coasters because roller coasters are cool. God, I sound like a 9-year-old. I want all roller coasters. Roller coasters are cool. Roller coasters are the best. Then again, roller coasters are cool. Aren't you a 9-year-old? Well, I don't watch PewDiePie, so I don't have to be 9 years old. Alright, let's build one of these. Let's build it here. I don't even know what PewDiePie is really up to these days, to be honest. Oh, I'm out of cash. Now I have cash. I think it's exactly 28. Who, me? I'm not 28. I'm much younger than 28. I'm only 27.9. You were rich minutes ago. What happened to it all? Well, I built some rides, but I also just paid a bit of the loan back, and now I took out the loan again because I needed the money. Oh, that's too high. Thank you for the follow, Diamageddon. Isn't Pewt older than that? I think Pewt is at least 30. Like probably like 31, 32. I'm not sure. These pots are not cheap, especially if they're raised. Raised quite a bit. You know who I wish would upload again? Yeah, in my announcement post on the Discord today, I mentioned my previous gaps in uploading, where I wouldn't upload for a few months and stuff. Which is of course not ideal, and I don't mean to do that, but you know who is the king of having long upload gaps? Boy in a Band. And I'm positive at least quite a few of you, well, used to watch him. And I say used to watch him because, well, he doesn't really output content anymore. He hasn't for like 2 years. It's really unfortunate because he's great. And I thought of him because he made the congratulations music video along with Rumi and, of course, PewDiePie. I really wish he would put out content again. And I know he struggles a lot with depression and demotivation and honestly quite a lot of stuff which I relate with. And, we both have long gaps in our YouTube upload schedule. And it's both because of somewhat the same reasons. Although he has it worse than I have. But yeah, I really hope that he does better. I heard that he recently did appear in some other YouTuber's video. Which is good, of course. Because that means that he has something going on in terms of YouTube. And that he's not just completely wiped off the face of the earth. Yeah, depression is the usual culprit. He talked about it in another video where at some point he was playing like simple idle clicker games for like 10 hours a day without doing anything useful. And I've had that too. Those kind of depression bouts. I don't have chronic depression, but luckily not. But I've had times where my life was, well, due to several reasons, shit. And I've had those bouts as well. And you really feel terrible. How much energy does this take? You mean live streaming? If so, live streaming doesn't take me... Well, it takes a fair bit of energy. I'm not exhausted at the end of a stream. Well, I was at the end of the 12-hour stream, but at the end of the usual stream, I'm not exhausted. I'm a bit tired, but it's also because I stream late at night. But, it takes a bit of energy, especially because I can't really relax. If I'm talking with friends and, we're doing something, playing a video game, whatever, I still need to concentrate on the video game, playing Age of Empires or whatever. But I don't need to mentally, be with it all the time and be sure that, I entertain the people that watch me and stuff. And that is a thing on streamers that does not necessarily make it hard, but it does make it mentally at least a bit taxing. It's also pretty hard to reach out and get help if you're not already in the system. Yeah, currently I am in a system, which is really good. Which is helping me a lot. Which has also helped me, be able to maintain that 2 video a week upload schedule. I'm not sure if I'll be able to maintain that forever, but, the 1 video a week I've been on for like half a year now, which is really good. It's really kind of unusual for me. I still have disabled support limits on. That was a mistake. Making videos. Well, the thing about making videos doesn't really cost all that much energy. It's just mostly just time. And I'm trying to find this place for this. I can't concentrate on telling my story and finding a place for this at the same time. I don't really work your standard, 8-hour days and have an evening off or whatever. I tend to work for the entire day, but only half. Because I'll put in another 20-second clip and add some text over it or whatever. And then I'll check Reddit for 5 minutes. And then I'll record, build another scene, set up another scene, record that, put that in. And then I'll, I don't know, talk on Twitter with someone for 5 minutes. It's really like that when I work, which it's working self. It's maybe not ideal, but for now it works. So I'm not going to bother changing it to, well, I might change it, but not radically at least. Can you make a reversed wooden coaster that goes the track backwards? So that it's essentially a normal wooden coaster. I don't really think that works. Most office jobs are like that. Well, not always, because I've had mornings, for example. A few weeks ago, I had one morning where I just, started at 9 or whatever. And at 1, I was just done with the video. And I worked pretty much 4 hours straight on the video without doing anything else. And I was really productive in that 4 hours. That's how most people work, I assume. And, you know, they might take breaks every hour or so, but not, like, alter every few minutes. Maybe I'm wrong, though. To be honest, I've never really had a normal job. Well, I had a normal job, but not like a sit-down job. Because my normal job was working in a warehouse. You know, driving around, picking up goods, putting them on containers, and then putting the containers on the right dock. So, that was, you know, you just continue working, because otherwise you just stand around, and you don't really have any options of doing anything else. Yeah, that's where the Herhaal quote is from. I have no idea which quote that is, though. $38, apparently. Max, can you repeat that? Because that's really on brand for that quote. Just whenever you do that quote, do it twice. Alright, let's... well, you know what this is gonna be. Let's actually fix a better place for that. Right. Can't remove that. Why can't... What's going on? There's some really interesting bugs with, like, removing flat rights. In the recent builds. Alright, this seems to be a good spot. Or I can also build a little bit of an entrance line. That's not a Ferris wheel, there's the Ferris wheel. I haven't had many people in my life, luckily, tell me that YouTube is an easy job or an easy thing to do. I know that quite a few people online or in real life think that. It certainly can be a lot of fun, and you know, you're your own boss, and you don't have to, you know, meet some deadlines by some company or whatever. Sure, has a lot of advantages, but that doesn't make it easy. And Salmonella's taking a pretty big break because of college. Yeah, that's another thing. YouTube, you know, it's a good idea to take some kind of college education as well, or some kind of education or some like certificate that you're qualified for something, because otherwise, once you're done with YouTube, you're not like in a career. But you know, YouTube can be really, really taxing. And oh god. Alright, just build a fence in between. Part of the reason is that, which is actually similar to going to college or school. Is that you're never really done. Because when you make YouTube videos, you know, you finish your YouTube video, you've uploaded it, and you've done all the meta stuff and the admin stuff and whatever. Then you need to work on the next video. And instead of, you know, clocking out at 5 PM and going home, you're already at home or in your home office or whatever. You're your own boss. So you just continue working. And that's really similar with school. Alright, see ya, Neri. I also stream myself. Ooh, nice. What are you going to stream? But, you know, similar to going to school, you're never really done. There's always something you could do. And I suppose that's with any company where you're your own boss. It's not unique to being a YouTuber. But it is, you know, an aspect of being a YouTuber. And it's based on Tetris 99. Nice. Good luck. Let's see, 5 needs to be yellow. I've worked as a structural engineer and now I'm trying out YouTube. YouTube is much harder than I thought, and much longer hours too. Yeah, especially if you still need to grow and you put in as much effort as you can. You know, once you're... For example, if you're big enough and you're putting out one video a week, which takes you, I don't know, 30 hours a week, and that makes you enough money, then you can decide, okay, I'm going to keep doing this because, you know, it makes me enough money. But if you're not at that yet, which I'm certainly not, then... whoops, that was the wrong one. This one needs to be blue. Then you just put in a lot of time because you still need to grow. There aren't any guests with the number 3 on them. Alright. Well, there's your rainbow Ferris wheels. That's why I don't really like working at home, because at my job there pretty much is always something to do, and I sometimes end up working more. Yeah, there's also the separation of home life and work life, especially for me, since my work computer is just my computer. There's not really much of a difference. Do we have guest 333 still? No. Well, yeah, we do actually. Let's try on that one. That has 3 3s in it. Threeception. Someone also mentioned earlier staying on top of the trends. That's not really a thing I bother with, to be honest. I just make videos about whatever I feel inspired to write about that week. You know, there are a few times where I follow the algorithm. You know, I did a tree overview with Team Trees when that was a thing. Video did pretty terribly. I made, you know, the popular video type, like 10 things that don't make sense about this game. I did that for Roller Coaster Tycoon. Video did well. I do, of course, keep a little bit of tabs on the trends. But I don't have to stay updated with the trends like every week or so, or every month. That's not the thing for me. Thank you for the Prime sub, the 100th. You're probably not exactly the 100th sub, but you are a Prime sub, so thank you. Who got drowned? 333. Don't neglect the other entrance. Good point. There's not a lot there. There are a few right there, of course. But most of those here. I mean, you did give most of the flat land here. So it's kind of your fault as well. I didn't really like working from home when I was still studying. There was one course I was actually doing really well on, and you know, it was programming course, a lot of fun doing it. But I missed just seeing people at uni. You know, just talking with people. Doesn't even have to be friends. You know, you mostly talk with friends, of course, but also just talking with random people during colleges, lectures, and stuff like that. And just going to uni, and it feels like you're actually going there with a purpose instead of you know, rolling out of bed at 8:45, going to the loo, brushing your teeth, and then just starting up the live stream from the lecture while still being half asleep. Sometimes still in your pajamas. It's very different. How do you feel about being trapped with some kind of content you made in the past? Well, you know, I was thinking of like branching out, potentially to Minecraft. I've talked about that before. But at the moment, my channel is doing amazingly well. I've made like 600 euros in the past 6 days. Which is a lot for my channel. I'm getting like 60,000 views, 30,000 views a day. Even more sometimes when on the days that I upload. But that's not gonna stay. But recently it's gotten a kind of a surge again. And that discourages me from trying something else. I'm really happy with it, of course. But now that my Roller Coaster Tycoon content is suddenly going very well again, like my last video did amazing. That discourages me from trying something else, especially because, which makes sense, if I try some other video, it does not all that great. Makes a lot of sense. And if, those kind of videos could do great if I kept doing them. But that's hard if they don't do as great as your Roller Coaster Tycoon videos. Now, I still really like making videos about Roller Coaster Tycoon. Don't get me wrong, I'm not nearly anywhere close to burning out on that. But it is a thing, and at some point I'll run out of ideas. Not yet, not close to it, but the idea pool is finite. Well, the pool of good ideas is finite. There are pretty much infinitely many terrible ideas. The PVZ video did quite well for a non-Roller Coaster Tycoon video. But it did quite badly compared to all my Roller Coaster Tycoon videos. Which I entirely predicted. Now, I wonder what happens if I just make a video of Minecraft. I've had an idea about Minecraft video for a long time now. And I still want to make that at some point. I'm not going to say what it is. Because as opposed to Roller Coaster Tycoon ideas, people can steal my Minecraft ideas. So I'm gonna keep the secret for now. But I wonder if I make that video. Minecraft is a very different game. It's very much more popular, so to say. So I wonder if that would do any better than... I made a Minecraft video in the past. That was a very different video. That was some weird little redstone video I made with a redstone contraption. This one is about actually, what's the cheapest ride, but a kind of video like that, but in Minecraft. I was actually thinking of, I've said this before on stream as well. I'm thinking about doing a Minecraft Let's Play series with, just a single player survival series. Once update 1.18 drops. The thing is, I'm kind of scared to do that because kind of scared to make Let's Plays because, well, I'm not any good at it. And of course, I could become good at it if I tried it and, made videos. Just like I became good at making videos about the Roller Coaster Tycoon in the style that I do. Is Roller Coaster gonna be too intense? Probably not. Might though. We'll see. Yeah, the thing about making Minecraft Let's Plays, it's kind of like live streaming. And then making a highlights video. Not exactly, of course, because you can record things multiple times if you mess up or whatever. But, if you go caving, for example, you basically need to just play the game and give commentary on what you do. And then later, you make, your 2-hour caving experience, you condense into like 5 or 10 minutes with the highlights where you find diamond or a dungeon or whatever. And of course, there's no chat to pay attention to or something like that. And, if you want to show something off, but, something bad happens, like a creeper explodes or whatever, you fix your build and you start again. But it is a lot where you have to actively be talking all the time. Otherwise, that footage will not really be usable. At least that's what I think it is. I've never done it, of course. But that's what I extrapolate from watching other YouTubers. Your Green, your Mumbo Jumbo, your Good Times with Scar. Imagine, though, if I made Minecraft YouTube videos and switched to being a Minecraft YouTuber and eventually got invited to the Hermitcraft server. That would be great. It's probably never ever going to happen. I did not know about the Ghost Coaster feature. Yeah, it's an open RCT2 and it's pretty amazing. It's not really all that useful for this coaster, because I pretty much already knew what it was going to do. But it's very useful if you're not sure if it makes a hill or if it goes too fast to crash for like a bobsleigh coaster or whatever. $774 excitement, 696 intensity, and 375 nausea. I like that. Alternatively, you just post the caving highlight where you get overwhelmed by freezing cold water. Well, when you do that, at least the people that guide you through the cave like you because you gave, you were clear about your own limits. And didn't press on when you couldn't, physically. Even though you hate yourself for it. It's funny, anyone who hasn't watched that video by Tom Scott. But I like the reference, likes Orange. Yeah, the video was quite awesome. For anyone who doesn't know, Tom Scott is a YouTuber and he's recently launched a second channel. And his most recent video is where he goes caving with someone. Well, it wasn't their name like Elise Freshwater Blizzard, which is like the most badass name ever. But at some point he has to walk through cold water and he just can't. He gets the water in his boots, just like everyone else who's with them, the safety crew, camera crew, Elise. But he just can't deal with it. He just like goes into shock or whatever. It's really weird. But it's also... It was weird to see him like that, Max, yes. But it was also really interesting to see him still being as articulate as he usually is while describing the pain that he's in and not being able to press forward. He was still Tom Scott in exactly the way that he is. Which was... It was just interesting to see. He didn't lose that at all. Speaking of Tom Scott, I made a scenario about a theme park he did a video on last year. Which one? Yeah, his camera persona way, but he was able to keep that, so he wasn't too far gone. I mean, he wasn't like knocked out or anything. But it's also really refreshing. And of course, it's Tom Scott, so it's not surprising for him. But it is refreshing to see, necessarily a YouTuber, but like a person in general, try something, fail at it, and post it anyway. And just, showcase him failing at it. Because there are a lot of YouTubers, or just people in general, who just would keep quiet about it. Which is, I can't blame people for that too. It's just, I suppose, human nature to not want to admit to your failures. But it is cool to see someone that does do that. And it sets a good example for other people. I do find it really interesting that people have a lot of problems admitting their failures or whenever they need help or whatever. I know I do. Yet, whenever I see, someone else do it, admit that they can't do something or, they've made a mistake and apologize or they need help or whatever, I'm always like, yeah, I understand and there's nothing wrong with this and, I will help you if I can. Or I would help you if I could. I never think less of them or blame them. And I suppose a lot of other people have the same. But whenever it's you that needs to admit to some mistake or, need help or whatever, you always think, well, people are going to judge me, people are going to hate me, everyone's going to leave me, I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. That's a bit extreme, but you get the gist. What about making a monster truck ride over the tongue of the hardened lava? Near the salmon pink coaster. Oh, right, yeah, this is the hardened lava. Not a bad idea. Yeah, your own mind really is stupid. Isn't admitting to your inability to admit to your inabilities admitting to your inability and there's a paradox? I mean, I'm not saying I have trouble admitting to all my inabilities. No one has. But there are a lot of inabilities that people have trouble admitting to. Which is fine, you know, it's human nature. But it's still annoying. I'm someone who is currently going through this exact same issue. I can't really cope with failure and it really gets me through problems recently. And I worry it's going to affect my work. Yeah. You know, if it's really affecting you in a bad way, you could try seeing someone about it. You know, be it a therapist or someone you really trust, just talking with them about it. Because, you know, not too long ago, I messed up pretty big because of that. Well, partly because of that. And now I am in, like, a system, which I mentioned earlier, which helps me deal with that. Which is good. But yeah, it was difficult. But yeah, I don't blame anyone for doing that. Not only because, you know, like I said, I've struggled with that myself, but also, if so many people struggle with it, then it's human nature. Otherwise, people wouldn't struggle with it so much. Thank you for your ice cream, Malachite. I like ice cream. Ice cream is really good. I don't know who invented ice cream, but I want to give them a hug. It probably wasn't invented by any one person, though. But still, ice cream is really good. And it can be comfort food. Which is probably not so good. Because it's not very healthy. Ancient China. Ancient China has invented a lot. I would like to say, my kitten loves watching your streams. They're almost ASMR for her. That's cool. Say hi to your kitten. Give her some pets for me. There's just some projects that I want to tackle, yet don't have the mental capacity of doing, thanks to that. Or the mental incapability. Well, I know what you mean anyway. Yeah, I have similar things. It's something that you kind of dread doing, even though you really want to. For me, it's, you know, getting around and about enough. You know, I could stand to take a lot more walks, you know, like 15-20 minute walks. I am easily physically capable of doing that. That's not any issues. I don't mind being out and about, taking a little walk. It's pleasurable. I have plenty of time, yet I fail to do it. And, you know, it's a thing we're currently working on, I'm working on. But why? Why do I fail to do it? If I have time, I can physically do it, and I like to do it. I don't know why, but it's annoying. Music. I repeat, because your mind is stupid. Well, I have Asperger's, which doesn't really help. It's not... My Asperger's isn't too bad, at least not on the social side. Otherwise I would have had a lot more trouble, you know, making friends and stuff, which I don't really have, luckily. Well, not anymore. But instead of, you know, self-motivation and stuff like that, it has annoyed me a lot. That's also why it's kind of a miracle that I've been able to keep this consistency of videos up. Because that's not like me at all. I won't actually start playing the game until I have that carousel built for just that music. And what do you do if you have a scenario that doesn't have the carousel available? There are some of those. You just don't play scenarios. What's your favorite thing about Marcel chat? What's my favorite thing about my chat, or what's the chat's favorite thing about me? That's an interesting question. But I'm glad you asked it, because it's kind of narcissistic for me to ask. Hey chat, what's your favorite thing about me? That's... How awesome am I? Please remind me that I am absolutely amazing. That doesn't really feel right to say. Have fun exercising, 7 Sui. My favorite thing about Marcel is his chill, open-minded attitude. Thank you. It's nice to hear that. Yeah, I do try to bring that here, because not only is it just, well, it's some, you know, it's part of who I am, of course. But it's also something that I think is just important to kind of project into the world and just, you know, talk about. Not really talk about open-mindedness, but just show it when talking about stuff. I'm not sure if it's possible to have some kind of way to teach open-mindedness in schools. It's a very tricky thing, all those kind of things. You know, be open-minded. What does it even mean? But if it was possible, we could certainly do with teaching it a bit more. My favorite thing is simply hanging out here, watching you play the game, chit-chatting, and how you actually interact with the chat. Thank you, but you're saying actually like I'm some kind of anomaly. Isn't the point of most streamers to interact with the chat? Now, it gets difficult for the streamer, of course, if they have thousands of viewers and the chat races by. Because not only do they have to focus on the game, they also have to keep up with the chat that's pretty much impossible to keep up with. But if you're like my size or smaller, there's no reason really not to keep up with the chat, unless your game is so demanding, like if you're a speedrunner or whatever. And that's part of course, this game. You know, people ask about, you know, will you ever stream Age of Empires, for example. Not only am I not particularly great, I'm good at Age of Empires, but not amazing. But I also would just need to concentrate pretty much the entire time for like half an hour, however long the match takes. And I would barely be able to read the chat during that time. I've been to some streams where there's like 10 people talking and the dude ignores 8 of them. Well, you know what I find really peculiar? Is I've seen streams where there are like 2 viewers and the chat is on the mode where you can only talk if you're a follower. I'm like, that's not the proper way to expand your audience, mate. Maybe they've had problems with spammers and that's why they're on, but if you're that small, why would spammers target you? I mean, I barely have any spammers ever in my streams. And I'm much bigger than that. Probably to combat hate raids. I mean, you can turn off raids. But why would you get any hate raids if you're just some guy with 2 viewers playing Roller Coaster Tycoon? That doesn't make any sense to me. Or encourage people to follow. People will follow you. You see, it's a call to action works, of course, but especially in live streams, if people like you and they keep watching for a while, then they will want to see more. The hate rates usually go after channel tags. I don't use channel tags. Wouldn't even know where to find them. Well, I love the people in this chat and I love your streams. It's good that you say that because I do think that goes, you know, could stand to be mentioned a bit more. You know, no matter how chill I am or whatever, I am nothing without good people in my chat and in my audience. So, thank you. You know, you can be the most awesome streamer ever, but if you have either no audience or, you know, hateful people or whatever in your audience, it doesn't really work. Hello, first time viewer here. Well, welcome to the stream, Moke. Welcome anyway. I hope one of those pronunciations was somewhat correct. Okay, we're on our 2,000 guests. That's not too bad. Let's advertise some more. I really like that you can use the scroll button for this now in OpenRCT2. I've never said it out loud, so any pronunciation is fine. Movekui. Is that fine? There's a pretty big flat area on the other side of the canyon. Yeah, but that's so much out of the way. There's no path there yet. And I still have plenty of space here. I mean, look at this. No reason at all yet to go there. You know, I'm gonna build a path here actually, so that I have more rides to build here. Name a ride of your choice. Well, go ahead. In the meantime, I'm gonna build some path. The reason I do these little, like, turns or S-bends or whatever every now and then in the path is just so it looks a little bit less like a grid. It just makes it look ever so slightly nicer. And I don't particularly care about, you know, making a nice looking park in these streams. I mean, I don't really do scenery most of the time. But just that it's a slightly less grid-like is nice. I mean, imagine if this was just a straight path, this was just like a rectangle. It would just look so much less nice. Name the observation tower, the Eye of Sauron. Alright. The landscape is nice enough here, to be honest. The Eye of Sauron. Alright, name for the park. Cuttlefish. Go ahead. Name the name. I don't know why, but I can never have path that shifts to the side by one tile. I have to turn it by at least 2 tiles. And that's interesting. I don't mind it. Name the park Break a Leg. Park. Alright. You would never break a leg at my parks though. My parks are 100% injury proof. You would never ever ever be injured or even worse die at my parks. No sir, never. Was that too much? I'm gonna build a hybrid coaster. I actually selected the hybrid coaster, but you don't get the hybrid coaster. You need to do this. And then make it a hybrid here. There we go. Do you even have the safest park award? Probably don't. Nope. Oh, you have best gentle rides. But, you know, no matter how safe your park is, you're not guaranteed to get it. Because awards are pretty much random. Because at the start of every month, a random award is selected. And if you're eligible for it, you'll get it. So that means that it's possible to be eligible for some award for a long time and not get it. What's the Superlooper? The Super Duper Oopalooper is this ride. It's a flat ride, but it's, well, you're seeing what it is. It basically just loops. It's just one continuous loop. I find it really interesting how these wooden supports work for the hybrid coaster. Really intricate. Especially when you go upside down. I mean, look at that. Well, this is a better view of it. This is really cool. And it was really well made by X7. And then some numbers. Which roughly spell out extreme. It's a loopy da poopy. No, it's a loopy da oopy da oopy da poopy. Soupy oopy loopy poopy. So silly. Is that an RMC? Yes, it is. Color a ride of your choice. Well, go ahead, Kevin. Do we have any... Oh, we actually have launched Lift Hill. Oh, yeah. Gotta go fast. Didn't know that. The hybrid coaster. Bright green track and brown supports. Alright. This from like... This is a better brown. This is from like Twisted Colossus or something. Oh, that's a white support, right? This is gonna go fast. Sonic the Ride. Did you finally try some caffeine before the stream? I don't think I have had caffeine in years. And I don't intend on taking any anytime soon. Well, I might have had some caffeine in something that I don't know has caffeine in it. How fast does it actually go there? Let's follow one of the trains during testing for once. That's the best quote ever, Max. $127, that is fast. What's up, Doroki Darogan? Rogan. Welcome to the stream. I should build these more often. They look really cool. Can I go there? I can go there. RMC, we can do loops on wooden supports. GTI, hold my beer, builds fully wooden hardline roll. I mean, this is kind of a, well, it's a barrel roll, but close enough. Call me Doki. Nice and easy. Alright. Ferris wheel 4 is broken down. That's the green one. Fix it. Please. Can I pay back my loan in full now? I can. That's nice. The rides are getting older, so I can't charge as much for them as I could before. I could renew them. Alright, we don't need brakes. Brakes are for weaklings. If this was a more adult-oriented stream, I would have used a different word there. Monster Energy, ew. Yeah, I agree with that. I've had it once and never again. And that once was like 10 years ago. Let's see if it's not too extreme. This might actually be too extreme. I don't really know how the stats of the hybrid coaster go. Hey Slime, you're finally here. There's a coaster named after you. Courtesy of Neri. It's salmon pink and it's called Slime McAwesome the Ride. Made just for you. And it's broken now. Well, not anymore. It's fixed now that Slime is here. Ooh, pretty good stats on this actually. 935 excitement, 890 intensity, and 422 nausea. Also, this month is gonna be a pretty amazing month already for speed skating. I've talked about speed skating before, and I really like it and I follow it. And this weekend we had the international season opening in Insel, which is a city very near the Austrian border in Germany. Oh, thank you for the 200 bits, Frans van. I appreciate it. And we had some time trials in Calgary and in Heerenveen. Next week are the Canadian National Championships. The week after that are the Japanese National Championships. The week after that are the Dutch National Championships. So I have a lot to look forward to. And every weekend there's some interesting championships. Oops. Hey, thank you for the 100 bits, Line. Ooh, a hype train. That's too close to the coaster. The hype train is approaching. I wonder if we'll actually see it arrive. But the good thing about this season is that it was an Olympic season, but it's also what we've already seen. We're going to have a lot of new records, and as you... don't crash! Don't... Ooh, just in time. As you may know, I'm keeping lists of all kinds of statistics, and a lot of world record statistics, like fastest first 200 meters on the 1000 meters, stuff like that, are likely to be broken this season, which I love, which is what I live for. There's more interest in speed skating in Denmark than I expected. Now that's really interesting, because there basically aren't any good Danish speed skaters. I think the best currently are Philip and Stefan Due-Smith. But they like barely qualify for the international races, and they're not even close to making the podium. Well, long track speed team, that is. Short track might be different. I don't really follow short track. The Americans are doing well as well. Of course, America is a country that really loves the Olympics. And every 4 years some new American speed skaters appear. And this year as well. And they're really doing great at the moment. So looking forward to what they can do. This is called a Super Looper. And it's a custom flat ride that has been... Well, it's been around for a long time. I have no idea who first made it, but it's a flat ride and it loops. What scenario is this? It's Iceland by Max. Well, it has a name, that volcano. It's currently like very new, but I keep forgetting it because it's difficult to pronounce. Looks like a pirate inverter ship. Yeah, something like that, like a swinging inverter ship. It's Fagradalskjal. Something like that. No, it's not the one that screwed things up in 2010. That's a different one. That's indeed the Eakuvde something. I won't even try to pronounce that. So there is a quiz online that just lets you name as many settlements in the world, or a certain continent, or a certain country, that you can. And I recently took that quiz again. And I was able to name 1,300 something settlements in the world, which goes from places like New York to places like Nederland, which is a city in the, well, a village in the Netherlands with 10 residents. Oh, we got a hype train. Thank you for the sub, Moke. Your first live stream and already a sub. Thank you. Why are all these volcano names so hard to pronounce? Because it's Icelandic. But I really like doing those geography quizzes, and I was fairly proud of my 1,300, although it was about 100 less than I did the first time I did that quiz. Thank you for another 100 bits, line, and thank you for the Prime sub, Judas Angel, and the follow as well. Your YouTube videos are worth rewarding. Thank you. I wonder how many cities the average person could name. Because I know I'm above average, because I take an interest in that. So naturally I'm above average. Let's build this coaster. But I assume your average person could name at least like 100, maybe 200. Because not only could, you know, people presumably know quite a lot of big cities around the world, but also all of the places near your home. Like, your average person would be able to name like at least 20 places within like 20 kilometers of their home, right? Or maybe like within 50 kilometers of their home. Like a few villages next to your village, stuff like that. That also counts on that quiz. If you want to take that quiz, go to iafisher.com. And he has those quizzes somewhere on his website. I think you underestimate how clueless a lot of people are. Really. Because I could already name more than 200 settlements just in the Netherlands. Maybe 200 is a high estimate, but like 100 surely. I mean, I assume that a lot of people know, for example, already New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. Yeah, you already got a few big cities. And if you're like European, you might know a few more in France and the UK because they're closer by. And you know, you have your own country, of course. My co-worker told me yesterday that Africa was a country. It is. Well, South Africa is at least. I know of Rotterdam, Amsterdam, Eindhoven, The Hague. Well, if you go big cities, then you have Utrecht, Nijmegen, Arnhem, Tilburg, Breda, Den Bosch, Groningen, Emmen, Assen. Well, they're getting a bit smaller already. Assen is like 70,000, something like that. It's the capital of Drenthe. One of the 12 provinces. I should really have an inversion. How fast is it still going here? Probably not all that fast. I didn't go very high up. I can probably do a corkscrew here. Thank you for the sub, Doki. Appreciate it. Ooh, we got a hype train. Level 1 hype train now. It's completed. Or is it already level 2? I'm not sure. No, I want a corkscrew. Drown a guest. Alright. Has Dylan S been drowned yet? I'm not sure. But might also not be in the park. Which guest number is it? Like 69? Let's see. Where is that option? There we go. 69 indeed. Alright, let's see if Dylan S is still in the park. No. I do have a Dylan R. And a Dylan T. Are your ads still running? I'm not sure. Do you want any of these to drown? Alright, let's see how this train goes. Nadine S. Is that 420? Oh, it barely makes that corkscrew. Nadine S is still in the park. Ah! Okay, that's Nadine S. Let's see which guest number it is. Oh well, Slime already said it is 420. Yes, you're quite predictable, Slime. It's not necessarily a bad thing, though. I also wonder, how many countries could the average person name? And I suppose that differs per country. At least like 30 or 40, right? Like, I assume that most Europeans will get at least like half the countries in Europe. I know that quite a lot of people won't get the Balkans. I mean, until I specifically started learning it, I didn't know all the Balkan countries. And I certainly couldn't place them all in the correct spot. I know a lot just because of Wacko's song. That song is quite outdated, but it does have a lot of countries that are still countries in it. There's a lot of different countries in Europe, yeah. Doesn't help that they have different names in different languages. Well, you would be able to do it in your own language, of course. Not necessarily in English. Or even worse, name every country in its native tongue. Croatia becomes like Hrvatska. Something like that. Might not be the correct pronunciation. The newspaper did a map years ago where they asked people where Iraq was. The pins were all over the place. Yeah, but you need to take any kind of, you know, stuff like that with a mountain of salt. Because if the newspaper got like pretty much perfect accuracy, they probably wouldn't publish it because it's not interesting enough. You know, you have those, and I said this before on stream, but you have those videos where they ask random people on the street all of a sudden, and, you know, where is North Korea? And, you know, some people point at like America or whatever. First off, they only take the absolute worst of the people that they got. They don't show all the people getting it perfect right or being very close. They might show one or two of them, but most they won't show. Because it doesn't make for good television. And there's also the fact that when people are suddenly, you know, kind of like assaulted on the street with a question. It's not actually assault, of course, but, you know, randomly, and suddenly you're asked a question, you're put on the spot with a camera on you. Then people sometimes just, they freeze up. And they don't know the answer to a very simple question, which they obviously know. Sometimes. So, like there's on the spot video, there was a question, name a woman. Yeah, exactly, Ball Blair. Name a woman. And so, some people just, they froze. And doesn't mean they're stupid. It just means that human nature doesn't work well for that. The thing that drives me nuts is the Dutch confusing the English. The Dutch live in the Netherlands, not to be confused with the Germans, who in German speak Deutsch and live in Deutschland. Yeah, that is a funny thing. Thank you guys for the hype train. This might interest you, Marcel. This is non-random selected, but it is a map showing which nations were the most known nations in a quiz. Oh yeah, on Jetpunk, which I use, has it as well. When you do the Country of the World quiz, which countries are most well known and which aren't. Actually, you know, let us take a look at that, because I think that's interesting enough. I'll just start up Jetpunk. Let me see. Switch scenes. Let me say Chrome. There we go. There's my Chrome. Countries of the World quiz. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna give up immediately. It doesn't count anyway if you don't get any correct. And then you get to see, you scroll to the bottom, which ones were correct most of the time. And then you see, United States, 97% of people got it correct. I only got it correct 96% of the time, because apparently I've taken this quiz 25 times, and one of the times I got Canada and I got bored and quit. So I only got one. But yeah, United States, Canada, Russia. Actually, maybe if I go to more stats, we might see a map of it. Yes. And now it's also not in red. So you can see that, for example, all these nations in the Pacific Ocean are not well known at all. And I think most of you haven't heard of them either. I hadn't heard of them when I started learning this. You have Palau, Federated State of Micronesia, Marshall Islands, Nauru, Kiribati, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Tuvalu, Samoa, and Tonga. And then Fiji is at 44%. It's a bit higher. And then, you know, you have your China, your Russia, United States, a lot of percent, of course. If we zoom in to Europe, Netherlands only 77%. And if you go to like Belarus, only 56%. And then this is not the general population. Keep that in mind. this is people who are nerdy enough that they take a geography quiz. So this is going to be biased in favor of people knowing the country. Oh yeah, Geography Now is a great YouTube channel. But even then, only 56% got Belarus. And let's see, what's the least known nation in Europe? Kosovo, which is debatable. Some people don't consider it a country. If we ignore Kosovo, then it's, I think, Moldova with 43%. Even Greece only got 83%, like ancient Greece. Now this might be the case of people doing like 2 countries and then just giving up, like I did that once. Oh, welcome to the stream, Murphy Lawson. Looks like this quiz sees Crimea as Russia. It does. I'm not gonna burn my hands on that. Which country it belongs to. I believe it's administered by Russia. I can say that, but it's much too complicated for me to just say it belongs to Ukraine or it belongs to Russia. Malta is also only 45%. Which is fair, I suppose. It's a tiny island nation. But then you go to Africa and it's like very red. Burkina Faso only 30%. Sao Tome and Principe might actually be the least known one with only 22%. Most of the, I started doing this on Sporkle, not on this side, but when I started learning it, most of the countries I had heard of. I had never heard of Sao Tome and Principe. Like, if you go down, it is indeed the least one. You get Nauru, Comoros, Palau, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Kiribati, Grenada, Tuvalu, Vanuatu, Marshall Islands. The top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The bottom 10 are all tiny island nations. And then you get Guinea-Bissau, which is still a small nation. I think it's the smallest land nation in Africa. Might be Djibouti, actually. One of the smallest, anyway. And I might Gambia. Anyway, one of the smallest. And it's not well known at all. You get, you know, St. Kitts and Nevis Island, Solomon Islands Nation, Island Nation, East Timor Island Nation, St. Lucia Island Nation, Island Nation. Tiny African nation, tiny African nation, tiny Asian nation on an island. Island nation, island nation. Now Burkina Faso is the lowest, like, fairly big country. Which is this one. It's not that big for Africa, but at least, you know, it's sizable. Have you ever heard of the website called The True Size Of? Yes, that is very interesting. Let's take a look at that. So, let's clear the map. You know, this is your classic Mercator projection. People use it a lot. It's easy to zoom in on and it's use navigation. But it's terrible. Like, Greenland is massive. And it is massive. But not that massive. It's not the size of Africa. If I drag it down to the equator, it's, well, about the size, a little bit bigger than Congo-Kinshasa, I think. It's about 1/14 the size of Africa. Which is still big, but not continental big. And Europe also seems particularly big on this projection. For example, France. I always think of France as a pretty big country. I've been to it on holiday many, many times. It takes forever to drive through. It's not that big. If we take France, we drag it down, it goes like 4 times into Congo-Kinshasa. And if we take it to the Amazon, it's like nothing compared to the Amazon. And that's just one rainforest. It's really... It's just really... I mean, France is not small, but it's not big either. And if you then take Brazil, which most people don't really think of as a big country often, it's massive. Brazil is bigger than the 48 contiguous United States. And about half of it, or something like that, is rainforest, is the Amazon. Brazil is massive, and the Amazon is massive as well. But I bet most of you did not know that Brazil is bigger than the contiguous 48. And if we drag it over to Europe, it goes from the UK to Egypt to Kazakhstan. It's like it's pretty much continental Europe. It's not bigger than Europe, but it's not much smaller either. Yeah, Congo-Kinshasa it's a bit easier to say than the Democratic Republic of the Congo. That's why I said Congo-Kinshasa. The other one is Brazzaville because, well, their capitals, which are quite next to each other, are called Brazzaville and Kinshasa. The US also has a big Amazon. Yeah, but the Amazon of the US isn't quite as nature-friendly. And, of course, you know, the big bad Russia is massive, but not, like, that massive. It's about, you know, the same size as the top part of Africa, which is still very, very big. But it's not, well, it's not that big. Antarctica. Antarctica, most people don't really have a grasp of the size on. Yeah, it's pretty much infinitely big at the bottom of the map. But let's take it up. Antarctica, it's about as big as the Sahara Desert. Say to China, it's slightly bigger than China, I think. Certainly bigger than the contiguous 48. It's about the size of South America, slightly smaller. If we take it to Europe, it's much bigger than Europe. You can see this little peninsula goes all the way up, and it just gets distorted very much. It seems like it's the same length as Antarctica, which it certainly isn't. And if you take it all the way, it gets distorted a lot. But yeah, that's how Mercator works. The Netherlands is actually huge once you drag it over to Africa. I doubt it. The Netherlands is absolutely tiny. Why can't I drag it? Alright, screw it. Clear map. Netherlands. Why can't I drag the What's going on? I'm not doing this. Alright, screw it. Refresh. Netherlands. There we go. Oh, now I got 2 of them. Anyway, the Netherlands fits basically into this tiny bit of the Congo. It's that small. I mean, also compared to America, the Netherlands is tiny. If we take, well, Texas, it's quite big. It fits in the top panhandle of Texas. And it fits, it fits in that panhandle bit of Alaska. Netherlands is not very big. It's bigger than some states. It's bigger than Rhode Island. But that's not very difficult. But yeah, this is a really interesting map. But, you know, you should just use like the Robinson projection. Or the Winkle triple. Which is pretty pleasant. This one. There's also the Gall-Peters projection, which is absolutely awful. The Gall-Peters projection is terrible because it doesn't care about shape. Like, the area is correct. Greenland has the right area, and so does Alaska and whatever. But it distorts the shape, and I hate it. Never ever use this projection. It's gross. It's absolutely gross. Anyway, back to theme parks. There we go. This has just been running the whole time. We've made a lot of money. We almost have 100k in the bank, but this time without a loan. Let's renew the advertisements. Mapman episode. What did Mapman do? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I've seen them all. I do know that. Because Mapman is great. Although I still think that nothing tops their first season. Of like 6 episodes, whatever it was. We can almost afford support for a small bridge. Yeah, those supports on footpath are expensive. Wonder how much money has this ride made? 60,000, that's a lot. Oh, thank you for the 3 months, Witchwake. I appreciate it. I made an updated version of the scenario where the height restriction is gone. And I made the volcano crater deeper and added lava at the bottom. You can't throw people in, it's outside your own land. But you can throw people in by removing path over it. Nice. Someone's favorite map can tell you a lot about what they're really like. That's why they're called projections. Nice. I wonder if someone's favorite Rollercoaster Tycoon map can tell something about people. Like, not anything specific. But I wonder if, for example, people who have Amity Airfield as their favorite scenario tend to be more orderly. Or, you know, something like that. I wonder if there's anything like that that exists. Or, you know, people who actually like the scenery from Wacky Worlds and Time Twister, which includes me, are, I don't know, tend to be more emotional or whatever. Kind of feels like astrology. Let's build another super loop de oepa 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 scoopa. That didn't come out as smooth as it did the other times. Alright, well that thing's screwed now. Thank you for the follow, gay baby demon demi girl. That's a name and a half. But welcome. Alright, let's build it around here. There we go. Was that a super duper looper oops scooper? Basically. Beard scratch, yes. I do sport a beard. It's not as nice as it could be, but it's still getting nicer slowly. And it does itch every now and then. Loopy da poopy, do right. Do you use beard oil? No, I basically don't do anything special to my hair, to my long hair and my beard. I mean, I wash it, and I use conditioner, and that's about it. But my hair's fine. Sunflower oil is made from sunflower seeds. Olive oil is made from olives, so is beard oil made from beards. Well, what about baby oil? What is that made of? Let's build one of these. You have a soft spot for Diamond Heights. Honestly, I have a soft spot for a lot of RCT1 scenarios because they're just good. Diamond Heights is really, really, really good. I have to say. So yeah, that's a good choice to have a soft spot for. I have to go all the way up. Electric fields. Yeah, electric fields is one of my favorite scenarios. It's probably my second favorite after Sherwood Forest. And I don't really know why I like Sherwood Forest so much. I suppose it's just the general atmosphere. But I just really like it. God, how difficult is it to climb that little mountain? It's so steep. And this thing doesn't really have a very high support limit. What if I turn off here earlier? And do that. See, it still doesn't work. If I go that way, yeah. Now I found my way onto the mountain. Good. And then you're going on a kiddie ride called mini helicopters, and it's this. Well, this isn't particularly dangerous. I mean, if we're assuming all these supports are safe and whatnot, then this should be a fun ride. Not necessarily a kiddie ride, but still interesting for young kids. Now the question is, can I get down? I can't even go down one bit there, because that's how stupidly steep it is. I need to go down like this with hairpin turns. I suppose it works. Isn't the mini helicopter ride pedaled by the guests? Yes, I suppose it is. So have fun with that. Alright, see ya, Azuma Dio. I think I might be able to just go down here. Yes. Not quite. Damn it. Thank you, Webmobster, for the Prime sub. You know what, I need to go under here anyway. Let's already do that. This kind of has a fun vibe to it, all these hairpin turns. And we're back. There we go. That's a mini helicopter's ride and a half. Looks like a famous street in San Francisco. Yeah, like the street. Is that like the steepest street in San Francisco or something? Even if it's not the steepest, it's at least very steep. Yeah, it's not quite mini. It's a mega mini helicopters. It's not the steepest, it's the crookedest. Ah. Well, it's crooked because it is still quite steep, I presume. These are really close together, these. Yeah, sometimes when you have the... When you have a short minimum waiting time, they dispatch like 2 at a time when there are not any guests on it with these like car ride things. It's really weird, actually. Let's make it a bit of a brighter color. I like that. I feel I go for orange and yellow too often. Oh, the computer's back at it again. Oh, that was only a small lag spike, luckily. Oh, and there's... Well, let's hope we don't get a crash. It seems to be nice now. I don't really want to just end the task OBS 64 because I feel like I need that to stream. Alright, yeah, we seem to be fine. I love how each helicopter shakes when it approaches the station. It does. Yeah, it goes up and down a little bit. This is quite a long ride. It'll take like 5 minutes. Oh, this one's broken down. Do I have enough? I don't really have enough staff, do I? Yeah, it might be a problem with the Streamlabs version, but I did reinstall it like a month ago. Which, you know, would have had me update to the newest version if I wasn't already on the newest version. But I don't really want to stream with OBS because I stream in 30 FPS. I record for my videos for YouTube in 60 FPS, and there's some kind of different settings. And I don't want to constantly have to change that. So it's really nice that I'm using 2 different programs, one for recording, one for streaming. Would these helicopters look good if red and without visible track, you think? No, they're going way too slow for that. I like the track here, actually. Like, here it works that they don't have track, but those mini helicopters go way too slow. I think I might, I'm getting a bit tired, I think I might put an end to the stream soon. And then we'll finish this either on Wednesday or on Sunday, next Sunday. Because we're about to 3/5 of the way through with the guests. So we'll be able to finish it next stream. Name a ride of your choice. Alright, go ahead, Sabrina. Mini helicopters, I predict. I might also actually want to increase this a little bit to like 7 seconds. Like, let's do 5. Because now they're really close together. I was going to name it Ferris wheel, but I'd like to suggest naming the helicopters Pennants the ride. What does Pennants mean? Pennants the ride, there you go. So does it feel any better drowning a guest in orange or acid green water than it does in regular water? Doesn't make too much of a difference for me though, to be honest. Like in acid green water they'll dissolve, in orange water they'll melt, and in normal water they'll just drown. In normal green water, I'm not exactly sure. Oh, means payment of... Oh, repent for sins. Right, yeah, I've heard that before. Now, just to briefly show you how... let's see, object selection. How incredibly bright acid green is. This is normal. Normal water. This is pink. Which is very, very saturated. This is green. And this is acid green. If we also go to this, it's incredibly bright. It's unspeakably bright. I don't know how they managed it. Why is this green so much more brighter than all the other colors? Yeah, I'll show this one as well in all the colors. This is more normal green. This is natural, which looks really weird. I could look at water, but with fire around it. Oh, this is standard orange. This is the pink. Which once again is really hot pink. It's incredibly saturated. I do think that the orange and the natural are the two best ones. I don't really like the green. It's just not my favorite shade of green. The acid green is just a bit too bright, and the pink is just slightly too unnatural. Where's the salmon pink? I think I had custom ones turned off. Try the pea water, please. Alright, let's go immature. Let's see. Custom. There you go. There's your pea, because Max likes pea. Thank you for the follow, Milan the Angel. Now we have some more. We have salmon pink. We have Water Club Roy. Roman palette. Palette of the Dead, which isn't very different here, as there are no guests. I mean, a lot of these are very subtly different. Bluegrass, which makes pink water. Alright, let's go back to normal. Well, orange. Now, what I can also do is something slightly different. See if I can manage that. How did I do that again? Let's see. I did that before. Oh yes, here. Should be here. See if I can find it. Yes. I can, for example, do this. Which makes everything a different color. I can also make it grayscale. Which is fun. This is kind of an inversion in coasters. Nice. Dramatic. Which is... I can't actually see this myself in game, of course. Because this is a filter which I use in my streaming program. But yeah, dramatic makes it a bit more... I'm not exactly sure the word is saturated, maybe. What's flashback? Oh, of course, it's very desaturated. Action movie. Winter green. Hearth. Heat map, which is pretty awful. Cell shade. Oh, that's dark. Then we got sepia. And I think now we've had all of them. Well, there's none. Oh, and I can also do this. Now that's cursed. That's absolutely cursed. That's just so not okay. And back to normal. That's Australia mode. Nice. I once, in one of my videos about the impossible mazes, I had one like 10-second bit in the video. I flipped upside down just for fun. So I sometimes do random things like that in my videos, just to troll people, which I like. I once did as well. I think it might have been in my stat requirements video. I switched around the entrance and exit line of a ride. I had normal path in the entrance line, the queue line. I was normal path, and the exit line was queue path. But the guests were still queuing in the correct place, so they were queuing on the normal path. And it was just like in one shot, which took 20 seconds or whatever. And I didn't acknowledge it or anything. It was just trolling. And some people took notice of it in the comments, which I always like when people do. And I wonder how many people notice it and don't say anything about it. Or you maybe just notice something's off, but I don't really know what. Alright, I think that's the last ride I'm placing today. There are quite a few rides. How many do we have? 48. That's a nice number because 22 times 2. 24 times 2, apologies. 24 is also a good number because it's 8 times 3. Don't ask me why my justifications are justifications, they just are. Let's see. Save game. I want to thank you for this fun stream while I search for someone to raid. Let's see, is someone streaming Roller Coaster Tycoon? No results. You know, I've been searching... Oh, now there are results when I search again. But I've been searching for Roller Coaster Tycoon lately, and people seem to be streaming it less lately. Alright, this guy has 1 viewer, is streaming in English. Let's give him a surprise of a lifetime. Oh, he does have a webcam, that's nice. I don't have one, but I still prefer it when people do. I want to thank you very much for this live stream. It was a fun stream. We discussed, you know, some more serious topics, but we also discussed fun topics. And it's good to also sometimes discuss serious topics. It was a fun stream. Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone who subbed, followed, and just chatted. Or just watched. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Oh, and a different kind of video coming tomorrow. There's one word I'll say, and it's Pokemon. Alright, give this guy all your love and hype and whatever you usually do in a raid. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.